everyone, and
morning,
welcome to Wake Up
everybody.
Missoula. My name is Noelle McAvoy.
And I'm Scott Ramp, and
That
I want to
was-
play some Legend of Zelda.
Yeah, that was ASAP Adonai on piano.
David T.J. Hooker with
Oh.
William Shatner.
It sounds
It's
like
good.
so many like NES
I know,
games.
but that's the thing. Yeah, that's how it goes.
Yeah, that probably gave way to a lot of video game theme songs. Is what I would
Probably.
think. Yeah.
We have
Nice.
a-
Well, thank you,
We have a
ASAP.
great show for you guys today. I'm going to talk a little bit about that water evaluation. It's not a water trial, it's the result of the water trial. So they're going to have some water evaluation. But I also have some Hallmark or Bullmark for
Yes.
later in the show, so stay tuned. I think I want to start off with a little bit of Day of the Dead. So I have a
Ooh.
short video I want to show for the Day of the Dead. It's about 3 minutes.
That was
But
on
this is
Monday.
kind of like highlights all of the best of the Day of the Dead. So if you watch 26 minutes, now you can have the shorter version for those of you who don't wish to watch the longer version. But of course, if you guys want to watch the longer version, we have a view from the roof and we have a view from the street. So without further ado, here is Dia de los Muertos, Missoula, 2015.
Go that way and go in the alleyway, and then go up the steps. You'll see them on your right.
All right, so
Nice,
that was
Scott.
the Day of the Dead.
That was cool. So
and it
Scott
was all
got
shortened.
Scott got to go onto the roof of MCAT, which is a usually pretty fun place to go film things.
Yes.
So that looked really good.
And it was surprisingly, it didn't rain. I was so glad about that. And last night it was supposed to snow around 2 a.m. in the morning, but instead at 2 a.m. the MCPS school bond passed.
So that's like a better version of snow.
Well, if you're a part of the MCPS thing, so
Yeah. So our school
it was
bond-
kind of like iffy for the high school bond, but I looked online, and around 2 a.m. is when they determined that by 200 votes, the high school bond passed, but the elementary school bond already passed like by 1,000 votes,
Cool.
like long before. It was always ahead, but the high school bond was kind of shaky.
Yeah,
because the only people who got to vote on it was the county,
Yeah.
while the city got to vote on the elementary school bond and the county and everything. City got to vote on everything because they're in the county, obviously, and then of course the county only didn't have to vote for the elementary school bond.
Yeah. But both bonds passed. So all of our efforts and friends from MCPS school bonds passed. That's
Yes.
awesome. We're all very excited about that.
And as Helen
One for
Lovejoy would
education.
always say, think of the children.
The
Just
children.
think of the children. But
They
of
are our
course-
future.
Yes.
So we're very
So you
pleased
can
about
expect
Yes.
the first couple of years to be kind of like they're gonna have a slow approach for starting fees, and of course if you have a $200,000 home, the price for these bonds, if you live in the county, are about $6 per household, and that's spread out through all of Missoula County. So that's pretty good considering.
It is pretty good.
And then the city of Missoula, they're gonna have to pay an additional $6 for the elementary school bond, but overall, if you live in the city, you pay the city and county regardless, so it's always going to be like a cluster.
Yeah.
So anyways, of course, today you can expect some maybe snow again to maybe happen.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a 30% chance of scattered snow, and then it's mostly covered and all that stuff. Thursday, snow is likely, a 60% chance of snow, but tonight it's going to be mostly cloudy. But I'll be inside most of the day doing the water trial. And speaking of the water,
It's not a water
it's not a
trial,
water
it's a
trial.
water evaluation.
So the water evaluation is happening, and I'm doing it. And so far,
How is
it's
it?
been pretty interesting for sure. There've been definitely a lot of instances where Joe Connor from the Carlisle group, he's been objecting to a lot of during the cross examinations. For Harry Schneider, representing the city of Missoula, and they've had to go into the judge's chamber a handful of times to discuss the objection further. And it was very interesting. They go in and out. They've done this about 3 or 4 times the last 2 days.
Is the judge pretty annoyed with them for doing that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like it. I would imagine.
And it was very interesting. Like you can tell that the judge was really annoyed by it because Joe Connor said thank you when. Judge Karen Townsend said the objection was sustained. He said thank you, and she was like, you don't have to thank me. And then, of course, later on, things get a little more heated, and he said thank you in a way where it was an insult. He's like, thank you.
You.
Noel, thank you. Go thank yourself.
Go thank yourself.
You should just say that. It would totally answer all the questions. But see more at the water trial. If you log on to our website, MCAT.org, and you can simply just go to local live. People ask me, people have been asking, it's like, where do you go? It's like, go to MCAT.org, click on local live, and you just click on this little play button that appears, and it should show the water trial. But if the water trial won't start until another
9
hour or so,
o'clock.
it actually starts at 8:50. Sometimes they say, let's start doing this. And it ran a little late last night as well, so they're going to continue the cross-examination of, what's his name? McInnes.
One of the guys, yeah. And so
He's the engineer for the Mountain Water
Oh,
Company.
really?
And
then are you guys live tweeting this as well?
I've been live tweeting
Okay,
it.
so you guys can also check out our Twitter feed on MCAT. So MCAT's Twitter feed right there.
At MCAT TV Missoula, #MSLA Water.
Yeah.
So
Scott
otherwise
will
known as
be-
the short version, the abbreviation of Missoula.
So Scott has been live tweeting that. So if you can't, for some reason, don't have enough time to watch the trial, you can always just hop onto our Twitter and check it out, play by play from
Yep.
Scott. Yeah. But if you want to find out more information about Wake Up Missoula, you can check us out on our website, wakeupmissoula.wix.com/wakeupmissoula. You can like us on Facebook.
Oh, someone liked us on Facebook.
Yay! You can like us on Twitter. Missoula Community Access Television also
Again on Twitter, we'll
Yep.
live tweet the live stream of the water evaluation hearing. And of course, our very own Ron Scholl got a picture of the very snow, the alleged snow that happened around 5 p.m. on top of Mount Sentinel. So it did snow, but not necessarily at 2 a.m.
No, not down below. And then also you guys can just check out MCAT.org. Find more info.
It's
on
great. And of course, MCAT.org, we have some pictures.
Yep.
There's the Parade of the Dead. So
Nice.
if you click on it, you'll bring you to the Day of the Dead parade. So it's going to, hopefully Ron mixed the footage of my roof and his street to make it into a cornucopia of dead and celebration of the dead.
That sounds wonderful, Scott.
Yes, it is quite wonderful. But I'm going to end my segment real quickly because I feel like I've been bantering too long. With some new programming that's happening on MCAT, and it's the Public Land Law Conference. Woo! Tried to say that without falling asleep. But then, of course, we have Missoula Art Museum is featuring John Buck at the Missoula Art Museum.
Perfect.
But without further ado, here is what's new on MCAT, and we'll come back with Noelle with events, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and then
ASAP, and then we got
ASAP has musical notes.
Yes.
With the most famous soap opera star in the world. Of course,
we
gotta tease everything. And Hallmark or Bullmark. Oh,
yay!
No more talking. Here's what's new on MCAT.
Climate change and drought in the Colorado River Basin is definitely a catalyst for tribes trying to ensure that they actually have access to any water. And of course, as settlements come through, most tribes are giving up some of the water they have a legal right to in exchange for infrastructure and other things. But having access to any unallocated water that other people aren't going to fight tooth and nail over giving up is important. So I think that's definitely the case for tribes.
Set my point out, which was to make a painting that you could walk around in. A kind of a three-dimensional extravaganza. But it's all very flat. It's all cutouts made of pine, and you walk around behind it, there's no imagery on the backside. It's not painted, it's just wood. So it's like a stage set.
All right,
we're back.
Sorry, I was just telling Noelle about a story that she could possibly do for her journalism class. But anyways, we have... I'll stop talking.
Yeah,
just shut up, Scott. Stop talking. Shut up, Scott.
A lot of the times when Scott and I cut the audio and go to play videos, we are so silly back here. One day I would really like to record us what we do when we cut our audio and go to video. We'll dance, we'll talk, we'll laugh about stuff.
And we'll swear a lot.
And then all of a sudden we're like, oh, we're back.
We'll say thank you a lot. Thank you. Thank you.
Don't you go thank yourself.
How dare... Oh, thank you. Well, Joe Connor is from the South, and he's very polite, even when he's being insulting.
Yeah.
Bless your heart, child.
Which really means thank yourself.
Yeah, it's definitely like the Twilight Zone in the South.
Yeah. Okay, so we've got some events going on today. So Science Sprouts is at Spectrum Discovery area starting at 11 a.m. this morning. This is an early childhood program for ages 2 to 5 with an adult. Over at Missoula Insectarium, they've got their Little Bugs Toddler Time. So this is for children ages 3 to 5, and it's just to introduce them to the world of insects. They do this through story time, hands-on interaction with bug ambassadors, and fun games. There is parent yoga over at Peaceful Heart Yoga. I think this is kind of cool. So parent yoga, this is yoga for you while your children play.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, so you can go in there, get your yoga session while your children are able to be in there as well, and you don't have to worry about them.
Because the one thing that women have a lot of difficulty with, especially after their kids are born, is their midsection. And while strengthening their core while their kids play, it's all but wonderful.
And they don't have to worry about trying to find a babysitter. Yeah.
Wow, I usually don't advertise these events. I usually just say,
but it's really
it's yoga. It's like herbal magic.
It's really great. It's like a time for you while your children is in the same room and you don't have to worry about them. I think it's great. So it's from 1, starts at 1. It's every Wednesday starting at 1. So check that out, you guys. It sounds like it's pretty sweet. And then Middle School Writers is at the Missoula Public Library at 3:30. This is a writing group for grades 6 through 9. And then over at Spectrum Discovery area, we've got a Sci Girls Explosions After School Club. So this is put on by Girl Scouts of Montana and Wyoming, along with Spectrum. And so the Sci Girls are going to be learning how to make explosions. So cost is $65 per girl. You get a 10% member and sibling discount if you are a member of Girl Scouts. The $15 Girl Scout membership fee applies to non-Girl Scout members. And scholarships are available for families in need. Just call 728-STEM to enroll.
Yep.
Over the Top Hat Lounge, they've got Sharon in the Groove. They've got the Celebrating the Music of Fish, not the fish. So the jam band Fish, yeah, they're celebrating the music of that. They've got their happy hour, their live recorded shows, their audio, all the great stuff, trivia, yeah. So that's every Wednesday, starting at 4:30 at the Top Hat. And then over at the Kettle House at 5, we've got our Community Unite. So 50 cents from each pint sold will go to the nonprofit of the night. Over the public library, we have a bicycle network workshop starting at 5:30. So this is the Missoula Metropolitan Planning Organization. They're kicking off their long-range transportation plan, which is a workshop specifically geared towards the Missoula area's bicycle network.
LRTP.
Yeah, so you can sign in. We'll be beginning at 5. The formal presentation will start at 5:30. And the presentation defines bicycle facility types and emerging trends, followed by mapping exercises and other activities aimed at providing a solid plan and foundation.
I just feel like this presentation is going to start with a rap.
Yeah.
LRTP, yeah, you know me. LRTP, yeah, you know me. That's how I would start it, because it just works out perfectly.
You should just like go there at 5 and just like wrap it out and then like leave.
LRTP, yeah, you know
me. We'll be there rapping.
Yeah.
Over at the Zootown Arts Community Center, they've got an image transfer and collage class. Starts at 6 p.m. And so they're just going to be, it's time to incorporate image transferring into your artwork. They'll be teaching you all about that. And then at the public library, they have the open jewelry studio in their makerspace. You can go and learn some basic techniques and instructions to make some jewelry from 6 to 7:30. Or you can go over to the boardroom at the public library at 7 and do Socrates Cafe, which is a very informal yet lively discussion around the core areas of philosophy.
Yo, Socrates.
Yeah.
You gotta listen to Socrates, man. Oh, sorry, that was from Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Socrates, Socrates. They're like, all we are is dust in the wind. Dust in the wind.
Man. Love that movie. The Sunrise Saloon has got country dance lessons with instructor Kathy Clark at 7 p.m. It's $5 per lesson. And then Kim Hecox, she'll be at Fact and Fiction, be reading and singing Jimmy Blue Feather. Starts at 7. And then we've got our Garden City Stamp Club regular meeting will be at the Atonement Lutheran Church at 7 p.m. New members are welcome, and they'll help you get started with stamps if you're interested. And then we've got some karaoke. We've got karaoke at the Eagles at 8:30, Badlander at 9, and then Sunrise Saloon at 9. And then we've got Pert near Sandstone and the Dead Winter Carpenters will be at the Top Hat Lounge at 9. And Milk Crate Wednesday will be at the Palace at 9. So that's what's going on for your Wednesday events. Up next, we've got ASAF segment.
You know, in the world of the soaps, as they call it, if I could have a bunch of wives, I mentioned Julie Andrews was one of them. And my other wife, if I could be a soap star, would be our guest today, Susan Lucci. And she's known to the world as Erica Kane. Mm-hmm. Her birth name was Susan Victoria Lucci. She was born 1946. Susan Lucci is an American actress, television host. She's an author, a singer, entrepreneur, but she'll always be linked and best known to the world as Erica Kane on the ABC daytime drama All My Children. This character is considered an icon now, and in 1996, TV Guide ranked Susan Lucci number 37 on its 50 greatest TV stars of all time. And of course, there's no question that the character of Erica Kane is probably the most known character in history of all the soaps. Let's show this early clip of a young Erica Kane.
Is he going to be here every time I come in the door? If I choose to invite him, yes, he will be. Well, I just don't understand what you see in a creep like that. Mind your tongue, Erica. Nicky is an old friend. He's still a creep. And when I invite him to this house, you're not to be rude to him. I wasn't rude to him. Look, when he came here yesterday, I put his silly flowers in the vase. I talked to him until he came home. He was rude to me. Well, how?
Now, see, in this clip here, this actress here was Mona Kane, the mom to Erica Kane. And you know, soap operas were tame back then in comparison to today. Anyway, she gets in a fight with her mother over this creep boyfriend named Nick, who Erica goes on to marry eventually.
Oh, scandalous.
Yeah, and she's had 10 husbands on this show, which is amazing because, well, it would have been 11, it'd have been me, but that doesn't count. But anyway, it's amazing because she's been married to the same husband in real life for so many years, since 1969. She's married to a guy named Helmut Huber is how that's pronounced. They got married in 1969. They're still married to this day. She had 2 children. And also what's interesting about her, in 2015, she was inducted into the Disney Legend. I guess they have a...
Disney, huh?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, even though she's played this outrageous character. She has her own clothing, skincare, lingerie, perfume collection called the Susan Lucci Collection. And she's been a host on Saturday Night Live, and the reason for that is because 18 times she was nominated for a daytime Emmy and lost all 18 times.
Wow.
Finally won.
The 19th time.
Yeah, so
19 times.
you know Saturday Night Live was going to work that.
Well, you
Yeah.
know, Leonardo DiCaprio has been nominated for an Oscar. How many times? Not once has he won. I just swear that he made a blood pact with Martin Scorsese for his soul for an Oscar, and he's just like, and that's why he does all these Scorsese films, and he's always like, I will get you that Oscar, Leo.
I will get it.
That's what Wolf on Wall Street, Shutter Island,
Yeah.
all great performances. Not gonna cut it.
Well, I don't know about packs and stuff, but I do know that it was funny when Lucci lost 18 times, but she finally won. And All My Children has been on since January 16th, 1970.
Wow.
I was in junior high school then.
Yeah.
And it finally ended September 23rd, 2011. So
Oh,
for
okay.
41 years.
Wow.
I
Now
didn't
let's
know
show
that it
that
was over.
second clip. This second clip we're about to show here is where Erica Kane gets
One of the
trapped
most
out.
famous scenes.
It's one of the it is. She gets trapped out in the wilderness and she tells this bear what to do with itself, so you can just see it here.
You may not do this. Do you understand me? You may not come near me. I am Erica Kane, and you are a filthy beast.
Okay, cool. I didn't know it was that easy.
only in the soap world could someone tell a bear what to do.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I am Noelle McAvoy.
Yeah, she's like, yes. I'm Erica Kane. You get away from me, gentlemen. You know? Anyway. But yeah, I just thought this was such a delightful story. And Susan Lucci, she's brought a lot of joy over the years playing this venomous, vixen character of Erica Kane.
Oh gosh, that's hilarious, ASAP.
Yeah.
Well,
so
thank you very much,
I'll
ASAP.
end it right there.
Yeah, that was Musical Notes with ASAP Adonai. A very entertaining one, definitely. So now we've got stuff going on tomorrow. So this is Thursday events. So we've got our NAMI Missoula weekly meeting at the Providence Center starting at 10 a.m. tomorrow. This is a free weekly meeting for anyone affected by mental illness or interested in learning about NAMI. It's 902 North Orange Street in room 109. Over at Spectrum Discovery area, there's Discovery Benches Astronomy, and then their brain lab is neurotransmitter necklaces. Yeah. Then we have our NAMI Connection Support Group. So this is their support group for adults living with mental illness. It'll be at 202 Brook Street in room 210, starting at 1:30. Over at the Missoula Fencing Association, they've got a beginning fencing classes for ages 6 through 8, 3 p.m., 3:15 to 4. It's a 6-week session. $60 includes all the equipment. Call 251-4623. Read Dogs is over at the public library starting at 3 p.m. Lego Club is also at the public library starting at 3:30. And then at the Missoula Sectarium, we have spider feeding at 3:30. So they feed Rosie the Chilean rose hair tarantula. So you can check out their live feeding and learn more about it. Over at the public library, they've got a Big Sky Branch movie marathon. So they are doing a trilogy. Let's see, by first film. Yeah, so it's going to be a movie marathon.
A Susan Collins trilogy.
A Susan Collins trilogy. To the build-up to the theater release of the final installment on the 20th. I know, that sounds really vague and very interesting.
The final installment.
It's so vague that I'm intrigued.
The Big Sky Branch Library in Big Sky High School. That's
Right.
where it's happening. And
Yeah.
Just say library at Big Sky High School.
It'll be in the library at the Big Sky High School. It sounds so vague. Check it out.
Branch Library sounds like it's a law firm.
Yeah.
Law firm. It's like, it's the library branch of Boom and Carlisle.
Yeah. So that's at 4 p.m. if that vague description sounds interesting to you. Over at the University Center Gallery, the UC Center Gallery, Beth Hutala's opening reception is called Nowhere to Be Found. And so she went on a summer trip to Japan, and her art is going to be indicative of what she experienced abroad and how culture can be retold and recreated through folk tales.
I've met a lot of people who've traveled to Japan. They didn't take too much from it.
Well, she wants to do art from it.
Cool.
Yeah. There's a downtown drop-in wine tasting at La Grata Bella at 5. This is the cavern underneath the Old Post Pub. It used to be $10, but now I got word on the street that it's $12.50. So $12.50, minimum 4 wines. Starts at 5. Pay it to the Old Post Pub and show up every Thursday. Then, over at the Holiday Inn downtown, they've got Activate Missoula Transportation Summit. So the Missoula Metropolitan Planning Organization is going to be seeking to educate participants about the transportation planning process and accept feedback on past project recommendations and future policy.
AMTS.
Yep, AMTS. So sign-in is at 5. Formal presentation starts at 5:30.
This seems like something that MCAT might be filming or should be filming.
I wonder, yeah.
They should ask. You can call us at 542-6228, otherwise known as 542.
MCAT.
You can email us, mcat@mcat.org.
Community Creative Writing Workshop is at Missoula Public Library at 6 p.m. It's from 6 to 7:30. It's in the makerspace writing. So it's as a form of making. Open it, drop in, whatever. Okay, now we've got some music. Lockwood is at Draftworks Brewing Company at 6. Pinegrass is at Lolo Peak Brewing Company at 6. We've got our Missoula's very first podcast festival.
Wow.
This will be at the Roxy Theater at 7:30. This is sponsored by the Journalism and hosted by Last Best Stories, which is a podcast around Montana. It's related to stories in Montana.
So they're gonna go there. I heard about this before. I think I talked to someone who's helped spearheading this.
Yeah.
Basically, go into the theater. They take down all the lights and then they just play it in the audio system.
Yep. So what it'll be like 2 stories and then a little break so you can get snacks and stuff, and then another couple stories. It'll be about 2 hours long.
Yeah, podcasts are long.
Yeah.
It's not some kind of radio program. It's just okay.
Well, it'll be a bunch of different stories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be a lot.
Over
Podcasts
2
are
hours.
long.
Yeah.
Podcasts are for those people who, download nice little podcasts for a nice little road trip.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's a radio stories mostly unique to Montana. And then this is our music for tonight. So we've got open mic at Eagles at 8:30 tomorrow. Open mic at the Broadway at 9. Dead Hipster at Badlander at 9. Karaoke at the Dark Horse at 9. Wild Coyote will be playing at the Sunrise Saloon at 9. We've got our John Howard's Homegrown Comedy at the Union Club at 9. Milo and the Late Sleeping Utopian Tour will be at Stage 112 at 10 for $5. And then Manic Focus will be at the Top Hat Lounge at 10. It didn't say how much his tickets cost, but he sounds pretty cool.
Cost something?
I think it does. Yeah, he's this. It's a Chicago-based electronic musician. Yeah, music producer hailing from the Twin Cities. So that's what's going on.
If he's going to come all the way here and not to get paid, then he's a fool.
Yeah. So he'll definitely be here. It most likely costs money. But that's what I've got going on for you guys. As always, check out the Independent, the newspaper, the MissoulaEvents.net, or the University of Montana events page.
Right.
Yeah.
Are you guys ready for
We are.
a long-time favorite? So we're going to play one of our favorite games, Hallmark or Bullmark. Imagine there's a camera showing my face.
We don't have a close-up.
Our camera 3 is technically, I don't know, it's just not working. Anyways, we don't have much time. Hit it, Asaph. It was a day like any other day for Bethany Hendrickson. Although this day, it's just like the last, and the last. This sudden crisis of falling into a rut leaves Bethany quitting her job and her boyfriend, Larry, of 4 years, and no ring.
Uh-oh.
Instead of letting this breakdown get the worst of her, Bethany decides to start her own herbal shop back in her hometown. With family hesitant to accept her new job and lifestyle, Bethany slowly finds success in more than just her small business. And this movie is called Herbal Remedy. Is this a Hallmark original movie or is this Bullmark? But think about it, guys. But for you at home, this is a segment on the show where I read a synopsis from a Hallmark original movie, or do I? And you have to determine whether or not it's a real Hallmark original movie or it's something that I made up, which I happily call Bullmark. So what do you guys think? Is it Hallmark or Bullmark?
Oh man, I don't know. This is a tough one. Okay, I'm gonna say Hallmark.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say
me
Hallmark.
too.
It sounds like it.
Are you guys sure?
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
You need change? Last minute changes?
I'm gonna stick with it.
It is a Bullmark movie that I completely made
wow.
up.
Good job, Scott.
I thought you might like it because, you know,
Yeah, the herbal shop. I know. I was
you
like,
thought I found it and I was just like, oh, no one else knows it. Like, but I completely made it up. They should make a
I know.
movie.
I was wondering. I was like, I wonder. I mean, I don't really think of the Hallmark as doing like herbal remedy.
No, they
movies.
do it all the time. They have
Do
a
they?
show about a witch called
that's
Cedar
true.
Cove. No, not Cedar Cove. That's, what's her face? Anyways, I know too
witch
much about
show.
Hallmark. Okay, here's the next movie.
Okay.
New song?
I know. I like this new
Yeah, this is
song.
the theme to all my children.
Okay,
So-
just play that one. I like that one.
Yeah, okay.
Hit it. For the last several years, Harold Townsend has enjoyed the life on the open sea. But when his boat is nowhere to be found after one of the worst storms in recent history hits the shores, his lifetime friend and mentor, Henry Gustav, who hires Harold to help him run the old lighthouse. When Henry's health begins to fail, Harold must find it within himself to choose between his surrogate father and a life at the open sea. And it's called The Last Lighthouse. Is this a Hallmark original movie, or is this completely Bullmark that I made up?
I'm gonna say Bullmark.
Yeah.
Bullmark. Yeah.
Okay. Were you guys alright this time?
Yes.
I made it up.
Yes. Woo! I know. I've been trying to understand it. Okay.
It's like
Harold didn't die, did he?
Huh?
Did Harold die?
Henry
Died.
Henry Gustav.
Henry died. Harold
Henry Gustav.
died.
Harold must find it within himself to choose between his surrogate father and a life at the open sea.
Those are good, Scott.
Yeah?
Nice.
Isn't
nice.
that a good story?
Yeah, it's really good.
All right.
Hallmark should hire you.
My number is, you can call MCAT at 542-6228, otherwise known as 542.
MCAT.
Area code 406.
Scott's available for a
Yes.
new job.
Yes. But of course, if you want to learn more information about Wake Up Missoula, you can log on to our very own website via Wix page, wakeupmissoula.wix.com/Wake Up Missoula. So nice we made you spell it out twice. You could find us on our YouTube page. Our Facebook page. It's totally Facebook, and I said YouTube. But here is our Twitter page.
Yeah, you can like Missoula Community Access Television on Twitter, get those live feeds. MCAT on Facebook, as well as MCAT.org.
Yes, where you can see the Parade of the Dead and more. And we're always looking for prospective board members to be on our very distinguished board of MCAT. So we're still looking for people to sign up. And if you're interested in being on our show and talking about an event, cause, concert, rally, anything that you want to talk about that's basically to benefit Missoula or not to benefit Missoula or to stop something that would hurt Missoula or something like that. It really depends upon your personal preferences, but you can get in contact with us again at 542-6228, otherwise known as 542
MCAT. MCAT at MCAT.org.
Yes.
All over the place.
And
Facebook.
if you Facebook, Twitter us.
Yeah.
Tweet us.
Twitter us, Facebook us, MySpace us. We're all over the place.
But without further ado, I want to say thank you all for joining me and congratulations MCPS for passing their school bond.
Yep.
It's going to be, the way we look at their schools from now on could be completely different.
Yep.
So without further ado, for Wake Up Missoula, I'm Scott Ramp.
I'm Noah McAvoy. Here's Asaph Adonai.